Welcome to the HAYVN Hubcast, a place to learn what business leaders, owners, and professionals are doing to navigate and grow in today's market. Hear from industry experts on everything from marketing, leadership, financing, and more. Brought to you by HAYVN, a co-working space where you can connect, create, and get stuff done.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the HAYVN Hubcast. I'm your host, Nancy Sheed, and I am excited to be here chatting with Katya Libin. Welcome, Katya. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited to dive into what you're doing now, but also sort of the journey that brought you here. For those of you that don't know, Katya is the co-founder and CEO of Divine Feminine Leader. She also has her own executive coaching and women's advisory practice called Katya Libin and Co. And she is a former CEO of Hey Mama, which has been in the news recently. And before that, she was a trailblazer with regard to her work with Adweek, being recognized by Adweek and Forbes. So I want to kind of dive in, Katya, to say, let's talk about how you got here.
Yeah, it's been such an roller coaster journey of finding really who I am and what I'm good at. And I think the past 10 years has been a true exploration for me and what are my actual gifts here and how do I channel those into successful, impactful businesses that don't burn me out and deplete me in the process. So where should we begin?
Yeah, well, let's go. If you don't mind, take us back to a little girl or the person in high school who thought they were going to major in this and be that. I mean, I feel like you're doing something that wasn't even imaginable back in that day, but maybe it was. So where were you headed when you sort of whether you're graduating or heading into the big wide world and just sort of first getting started in your career?
I always say I got all my chops through bartending in New York City, which is good. I'm a city kid. I grew up in Queens. My family immigrated from Russia when I was 3. We came over with nothing, no language, no resources. We lived in the projects and we kind of slowly started making our way up and up and up as we got more acclimated to what the US was able to kind of provide for us. I just had a lot of drive. I had a lot of confidence, really not backed up by much, just backed up by why not? Let's go for it. I think I just kind of came out of the womb like that, let's go. And then over the years, it started to get backed up by more evidence. But I started off working in technology and sales. So I got really lucky and I was bartending and ended up meeting the CEO and CFO of a company that were regulars. And they took a chance on me and gave me a job as an account executive.
I have goosebumps. That's crazy.
Sometime at 3 a.m. and I'm like, I got this. And they hired me and I ended up being the number 1 salesperson there for 6 years and
Awesome.
Crushed it for them. That was my first entry point into being a professional.
Awesome. And so the sales obviously kind of reinforced the things that you liked and things that you enjoyed. And then how did you leverage that beyond corporate? Did you sort of say sales is for me, or how did that evolve in terms of kind of, it sounds like moving your way over into more of a service-based business?
Yeah. So for me, sales is service. So I just always was so incredible with being of service and generally really loving my clients and using sales as a channel to love people and their goals and their needs. And really that relationship between client and partner. And that channeled really well into entrepreneurship. So when I had my daughter, I then got the idea for Hey Mama a couple of years later. And I think because I was so used to hearing no from the sales world, even though by that time I had a delicious book of business and I was very well respected and things kind of came in a lot more and more, I still wasn't scared of being told no. And I didn't really care about what other people thought of me in the process of pursuing my dreams. And I think those two things were very effective and necessary for me to have the courage to start a business and just go for it. So we started Hey Mama back in 2014. And that one decision to become an entrepreneur and go all in really changed my life.
Mm. And the vision for Hey Mama, is that because you're sitting there as a new mom and you're just seeing a huge gap in the market? I mean, or a huge opportunity in the market? Can you kind of, I think that's where a lot of entrepreneurs get started of like, I can't believe nobody's done this before. Or I can't believe that something like this doesn't exist. Can you get a little personal and say, what was that for you? Or were you surrounded by friends who were going through the same thing?
I was surrounded by no friends because I was 26 years old and I had a daughter in the city. So
Holy
no one
moly.
I knew had a kid. So I was surrounded by zero moms. Like I was truly desperate. And
Taking a deep breath for you, like stressful.
I was like a young mom in tech. Like I was a young mom with a senior position. And so I had a lot of financial stability and abundance, but I was age-wise quite a lot younger than all of the other moms. And I was living in Tribeca and felt very lonely, very isolated. And after 2 years of literally wondering, like, where do people meet other people in this stage of life? Like, do I attack someone at the park? Like, do I literally come up to them and I'm like, would you like to be friends? And are you cool? And like, how do we curate the people that I would feel like women I could be myself with? And the problem felt really clear. How to then commercialize that problem into a product and build a business was something that I still had no idea how to do. But my co-founder and I just committed to solving a problem.
Right.
So it existed. We just had to figure out which one.
And in solving that problem, which in and of itself is just huge, like you said, they take the risk. In solving that problem, was it geographically based to this is going to be just New York City? Or at the time, it's like, well, let's start in New York City and see what happens? Or what was your thought process in that? Because I know that a lot of entrepreneurs are like, I'm solving the problem right here. And they might not have the vision for it being until it gets going and they have proof of concept. How did that work for you?
Yeah, it's funny. I've always, whenever I build companies, I just assume they're going to be global. Like I have no small term, like I have no concept of just like, and now I'm going to build something that is just for here. I've actually fantasized about building like a beautiful vintage store and just something that's very tactical in front of me locally, because I think that's so magical. And I think you can build a really successful business just serving the needs of your local area. But for some reason, whenever I build a big vision, I wanted to reach as many people as possible. And so from the very beginning, I knew it was going to be at least a national concept. So we began in New York and we started to expand into LA, then Miami, then Denver, then SF, and slowly started launching more and more areas. The jury's still out if that was the right call. We probably could have had a lot more market deepening if we stayed specifically in one area, but we did want to offer this community for women all around the country. And through that, we ended up connecting so many women that never would have met or knew each other, whose lives really were forever changed from the Hey Mama platform. And that's what I'm so excited to be doing with Jadiva and our movement for divine feminine leaders. It feels like very much the way it felt at the beginning of that first movement.
Wow. And so moving through, I just want to backtrack to, so where did pandemic hit in your professional career and journey? I mean, I'm just curious how, I always like to hear, like, how did that affect? Were you in launch mode? Were you in growth mode? Were you at the right place at the right time? Were you at the wrong place at the right time? Or the wrong place at the wrong time?
We had just closed like a $2.5 million funding round the December before the pandemic. So we definitely raced at the right time. So that was good. But then like our entire business kind of imploded because it was so much based on in real life. And so we had to transition everything to virtual. My co-founder got diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. So it was very devastating to then kind of be holding this and the pandemic. It was really intense. And I was personally going through a lot at that same time, like we all were. But the pandemic hit at that inflection point of us really just thinking about how we could serve our members best. Yep. Virtual then was still like not the thing it is now. You know, everyone's just super used to doing everything virtually. Pre-pandemic, it was like, we'll see you in person if you want to chat.
Exactly. And now we're trying to, we're overwhelmed with
normalize, like
both.
Yes.
And so if you don't mind sharing with, in terms of your personal journey, so, well, first of all, you managed through the pandemic for sure, right? I mean, Hey Mama sort of pivots as everybody else does. Walk us through the point when you start knowing that Hey Mama needs to be something else or wants to be something else, and you're starting to get an inkling for what's next, which is always the entrepreneur story, right? Like, okay, not that you're bored, but some other things start getting sparkly in your world, or you've gone through something, or you want something else, which I think also speaks to the actual work that you're now doing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was just a really honest reflection that I wasn't the right leader for the business at that time anymore.
Mm.
And I think having built the company from like back of a napkin idea into what it became after 7 years, and realizing that the type of CEO that company needed had a big part of that role was something that I really didn't enjoy or felt like was in my zone of genius.
Mm.
I think that was a big realization. It's just I felt deeply like the tides had turned and that work had taken over so much more of life. And I think it was just the best decision for everyone that I pulled back and moved onto the board and was able to bring in a leader that really loved the things that I, at that point, was just like scratching the wall trying to
Well, and it's a push me, pull me, right? Like you're letting go of your baby, but at the same time, I suspect you're honoring what your intuition is telling you and where you want to grow. And 7 years is a long time in the entrepreneur business. I mean, is in the entrepreneurial world.
It is. And 7 years of like true startup, because it's when your first business, you're still proving that you can do it. So you're still proving a lot to the world, to yourself. By your third company, you know you can do it. It's just a matter of how you're able to anticipate what the market needs and deliver it in the right way with the right people and learn from your previous mistakes.
Yeah. Katya, I'm getting a sense of kind of this, not lone maverick, but you don't necessarily have to have everybody around you saying, this is a great idea, go for it. Did that change, as you said, over from your first company to your second company in terms of figuring out who your support team was, or figuring out who to listen to or not listen to, or to not feel so alone in your next steps? How did that evolve?
I think I held way too much in my first company. I think I held way too much pressure on myself and way too much outdated versions of leadership, which is why I'm so passionate about divine feminine leadership, because I truly feel like had I had these tools and knowledge set and wisdom with Hey Mama, probably could have looked a lot different. I think I just have so much more awareness and my connection to spirit and to source and to the universe and to really how I want to move through building a business and knowing, oh, this is actually outside of my zone of genius and my wheelhouse. And now who am I able to bring in that loves this, that knows it so well, instead of the previous way of like, I need to know the answer because I'm the CEO. So people are coming to me, and if I say it confidently, they'll believe me. I'm really good at saying things
exactly. Like, of course I can do that. Of course I can do that. Yes.
I know the answer to that.
Yes. I'll get right back to you.
I probably just should have sat at a lot of meetings and just said, I don't know what to do. Like, why don't we bring someone that does feel like they know what the answer is, and then allow me to help steer that ship. Now I have an incredible co-founder. She's my best friend. She's absolutely amazing. We're both exited founders. So she sold her first company to HubSpot, and she loves to do all the things that I don't love to do. And
I love hearing that partnership story.
We're just like such a yin and yang. And we have over 125 leaders in this feminine accelerator for women. And it's been very inspiring to see what's possible when you have the right mission, the right team, and of course, the secret ingredient, which is the belief in yourself and the purpose of what you're doing and what you want it to achieve in the world.
And so you're bringing your experience, you're seeing what's possible. What Geneva's doing with your sort of divine feminine leader model, how is it different? You know what I mean? In terms of there's coaching in the world, there's executive leadership in the world, there's women focused. How is what you are doing different? And what's the message you want to get out in terms of this is why what you're doing is important?
Yeah. Well, we always say like, we're here to bridge the woo and the do. And I think
I love that.
So simple. It's like, we know that women are operating with like a Ferrari of a system just by being a woman. What we have access to that's been studied, from our wisdom to our hearts to our pleasure. And we've been placed in this very structured masculine world that's been asking us to get on the hamster wheel and to put ourselves to the back burner and to serve everyone else first. And I feel like all of these programming that we've had, women are finally waking up to how much power they have with connection to their divine feminine energy, right? And it's an energy source that's completely sustainable and refuelable, as opposed to being driven by the next goal and by what other people think of you, or by money, or by
fear.
So what we really want to do is we want to bridge a mastermind, which, the power of eight framework that's been available to premium networks like YPO and EO and even Chief, and combine it with an incredible education and leadership frameworks that are bridging spirituality and prosperity. And then layer in unforgettable experiences in real life that activate us in the body, in the soul, in the heart, with women that feel truly like sisters. So we're like a soulful sorority. We're basically, it's
for go-getters.
A soulful sorority for women of impact. Women really feel that they are here to make meaningful impact on other people's lives. And they're not here just for their own personal gains. They want the collective to win. They believe in the power of community and collective to shape the future of business.
Taking a deep breath, that feels so much better than the stress on our shoulders that we're all carrying.
Yes.
And are you feeling like you're having to totally educate people on this? Or do you feel like when you're speaking to women, they're kind of like, oh, I need this. I've heard this is coming, or I've heard of this, but you're presenting it in a way that I can see, back to your woo, bringing the woo to do. It's the left brain, right brain. You know what I mean? How is this being received? I know on a conscious level, we're being told that there's a big shift into the divine, which we're all excited about. How is this resonating with the leaders you're talking to?
It's usually a full body yes, to the point where, like, when we're talking to women, they will start feeling it all throughout their bodies. Like, they'll actually feel an activation in their sacral, in their hearts. And it's telling them, oh, my people, like, I feel this. And I think that's a big shift that's happening, is us getting away from just using kind of our rational sides of our mind, but really looking at deepening our embodiment and what are the portals, the doors, the containers, the programs, whatever you want to call it. It really is just a portal that once you say yes to, you are investing in your growth, your evolution, your network, your personal connection to self, as opposed to just what you want to do externally. We're really a community that cherishes helping women tap into their wisdom, power, and purpose, as opposed to telling them how to do it. We want to help you create the space to know yourself so well and to love yourself so much that success is just the most natural byproduct of that. So I'd say it's resonating very well for our people. And there are definitely going to be women that are newer to this, that are curious. And either they're like, I'm super open-minded and let's just jump in. Or they're like, you know what? I don't understand that yet. And that's okay. And maybe I'll keep up with this and I'll start to dabble my toes before I go into our full accelerator framework.
We'll call them woo curious, right?
Woo curious.
They're woo curious.
Yes.
Katya, it's a pleasure. I could chat with you for another whole session, just in terms of how you are diving in and how you're getting people started into your program. But since we can't do that, how can people find you and learn more about what's going on with Jadiva and the work you're doing?
Yeah. We are now taking applications for our upcoming chapters and talking to women every day that want to join this movement. The best way is to follow us on Instagram at wearedfl.com. And our website is wearedfl.com as well. As we go through our kind of full rebrand, you could still find us there, or to follow me personally at Katya's Life, and just to reach out if you'd like to learn more about this and find us at some of our upcoming events. We're doing some incredible events in Westchester, and we're proud to share that we're going to be launching a Westchester dedicated chapter for our company. So 64 remarkable leaders locally that are committed to the shared abundance and growth and unforgettable experiences. So I can't wait for that.
Awesome. And I know HAYVN's looking forward to seeing you soon. You may have already come to HAYVN before this airs, but we're looking forward to seeing you at HAYVN as well. So
it's going to be so good.
thank you for your time. I physically feel lighter in terms of this conversation and more hopeful and optimistic for what's to come. Thank you for doing the work you do and sharing your time with us today.
Thank you, Nancy. Have a gorgeous day. Thank you, everyone.
And that's another episode of the HAYVN Hubcast. Thanks for listening. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and give us a review.
Thanks for listening to the HAYVN Hubcast, a place to learn what business leaders and owners are doing to navigate and grow in today's market. Please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. HAYVN is a co-working space and virtual community located in the heart of Fairfield County, Connecticut. HAYVN is a hub for business owners and professionals to connect, create, and get stuff done. Find out more about the HAYVN community online at hayvn.com. That's HAYVN.com. HAYVN Hubcast is produced by Sound Advice Strategies.